Okay, here we are. We are in TinkerCAD, and today we're going to learn everything we need to know about the duplicate button. Now, that's this grayed out duplicate and repeat, and be very aware it's not at all copy and paste. All right, let's bring in a block here, and let's see if we can copy and paste these blocks to go all the way across. So here we go, Control C, Control V. Notice that they're amongst each other. They're kind of bombarding each other. I'm gonna have to move this over and then copy and paste this again, and then copy and paste that. It's not going very well. They're not quite lined up. I don't know if even the spaces are exactly the same. We could use the align tool later, but this is taking a while. Let's go ahead and just select all these. Let's see if we can line them up at least. There we go. That looks okay. I guess the spaces between them are okay. A little bit of practice, I guess. So anyway, that's copy and paste. Now, it didn't take forever, but I didn't make it all the way across. Let's go ahead and use our friend, the duplicate tool, right? So select what you want to duplicate. Go ahead and click the duplicate button or Control D. Now, you've just duplicated that block, but you didn't move it anywhere. So I'm going to use the arrow key on my keyboard. And I'm going to go use the right arrow until I can see that it is just next to the other block. And then I'm going to use Control D again, and then again, and again, and again, and again, and again. And I am done, and these blocks are perfect. Now you can do this in any direction that you want. What happens when I select that block again and I do Control D, and I'm going to move this block up, and then Control D, D, and D, and D, and D, and that's it. It's easy as that. And don't worry, it doesn't need to be just one. Let's duplicate this whole thing. Control D, and I'll use the arrow key again, and let's make massive amounts of blocks. We can tile this entire floor or whatever area it is. Right, here it goes. Control D, Control D, Control D, Control D, Control D. Look at what we've just made. Now, that's the power of the duplicate tool. It is extremely powerful. What is that? What is going on over here? Now, this is something cool. I have a little bit of fire, and with the fire, let's see if we can play with this a little bit. I wanted to make a fiery, flamey planet sun looking thing. So what I did was I came over here, I got the fire. I think all I did was I typed in the search for fire. Yeah, it's down here. And then I had to resize it a little bit. So we just bring it in, and now let's duplicate it. Control D, and use the arrow keys again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't know, I think I'm about 15 now. Let's rotate it a little bit. Dude, is that enough? That looks good. All right, let's bring it down. Let's try it out. So duplicate is going to duplicate our object plus however we moved it or resized it. So in this case, we've duplicated the object, which means we kind of copy and pasted it, but duplicate is also going to copy the movement. So let's try it. Control D. D, 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 D. And we're back to where we started. That is so cool. We just made a flaming ring of fire. That's awesome. Can't tell me that's not awesome. All right, so I'm going to select it all. Shall we group it? Let's do that. Shall we group it? I think, look, there's a high resolution sphere right there. Let's bring it in and stick it in here. Let's use Shift and resize it. Let's make it a little bit bigger. And again, I'm going to use my arrow keys and try to maneuver that in there. Looks alright. Nah, think it needs to be a little bit bigger. Let's do that. Just kind of move it around a little bit down to the left, a little bit up. Looks pretty well centered to me. If you're not satisfied with that, select it and use the align tool. Boop. There it is. Now it's perfectly in the center. There, look at that. So we just made a flamey, fiery ball thing. Cool. I like it. Sorry though. Delete. Off you go. Now, let's do something a little bit more practical. Let's say I got this house, could be a castle, whatever it is that you want to do. We're going to put a wall around it, or a gate, or a fence around it, something like that. So again, the old-fashioned is copy and paste. Move that right there. Oh, wait. Oh, almost. There we go. Oh. And then you can see where this is going, right? So let's do this. Control D. Use your arrow key. Move it over. And then Control D. And let's get that right there. Control D, D, D. Seems like we gotta do this. Control D, move it over, and then Control D again. There we go. We got it going, and it's all the way around. And now I'm gonna turn. So I'm gonna do one more D, but I'm gonna rotate this one. Let's stick that right in place. Let's zoom in and check. Not quite there. That looks like we've got it. All right, so we've got this one fence piece selected. Control D. Whoopsie. All right, so this one piece is the piece that we want. Control D, and then we're gonna move this over. Looks good. Now Control D again, maybe more than once. And there it is. How's that look? We've got our fence. Now, what I think we should do in this case is go ahead and highlight those. I'm gonna hold Shift and highlight these. And let's just go ahead and use our copy paste. It's not against the law. And then we can rotate those, right? How many degrees do we need to rotate these? 180. And we can just drag that in place. So that wasn't that hard, you know. Copy and paste is still a very useful tool. And maybe right over here we're gonna put our little gate opening. Maybe we'll put some trellis or something like that, right? So that's a useful way of using the duplicate tool, but it's not that fun. Let's go ahead and do something that's not that useful but super fun. I'm gonna grab all kinds of shapes and let's just fill everything up with shapes. I don't want to draw anything, so let's just get static shapes. Nothing that makes me go out of my way and think or do something creative. Wouldn't want to do that. So we got some shapes. Are we done yet? Is this enough? No way. Let's get a star in there. All right, that's gotta be enough. Okay, highlight all of these. Click on our duplicate tool. Now let's raise this up so none of them are touching each other. Right? That's got it. Okay, let's rotate it a little bit. Doop. Bring it in. I'm gonna hold Shift. I'm gonna bring it in 2 directions. All right, and that's it. That's all I want to do. You ready? Duplicate. Duplicate, 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 duplicate. It is going berserko. All the way up. And look at that pattern. The pattern is beautiful. Now, totally you can make Christmas trees and other cool stuff like that. I don't know when we should stop. I guess it's pretty much microscopic. Alright, that should be enough to kill my browser. Hopefully it loads. That's pretty cool. Alright, I'm gonna click away, deselect everything. Let's jump in our sim lab. That's the falling apple. So here we go. We got all of our shapes in here. And now down at the bottom left, there's a play button. Let's see what happens when we add gravity. Boom. Yeah, I have some shapes. So anyway, back to our 3D design. If doing something like this with copy and paste, it is possible, but can you imagine how long it would take and how tedious it would be? With the duplicate tool, it just took a second. Now, it's good to do this, like if you're putting dragon scales on a dragon, you just copy and paste the one on the top, make it a little bit smaller, move it down the back, and then control D, and it just moves it right down, and you've just scaled a dragon in just less than 30 seconds. So it's a very powerful, very useful tool, and it's quite fun as well. All right, hope you learned something. See you next time.